This topic, transactional analysis, is something that I don't really remember covering much, if at all, during grad school. And so hopefully this helps you if it's something that you have been introduced to or haven't been introduced to. It still may come up on the NCE, the CPCE, or another counseling exam. So it's good to have an awareness of what it is. My name is Keegan. I recently graduated with my Master's of Counseling degree. I hope that this video helps you study and prepare for your NCE, your CPCE, or any other exam that you might be taking in the counseling field or that's incorporating transactional analysis. Developed in the 1950s by Eric Berne, transactional analysis is a form of therapy that primarily focuses on communication between people. Specifically, a focus is on the ego states, the parent, the adult, or the child. So each of these ego states are something that we'll go into a little bit more depth on as we get into the video, but that's one of the focuses of transactional analysis. According to this theory, a person will start the communication, which is the transaction stimulus, and then the person who's receiving the communication or is receiving the stimulus will send back a transaction response. The goal of transaction analysis then is to look at the ego states that people are communicating from and to use interventions that will alter their communication styles or their methods of communication. As we go into more depth on transaction analysis, the first thing that we should cover is the child ego state. This ego state has two subdivisions, the adapted child and the free child. As we think about the child ego state, it's said that this ego state is communicating from emotions felt in childhood. As I said, the child ego state has two subdivisions. So with the adapted child ego state, they're said to conform, do things according to the wishes of others. They may be seen as good or maybe well liked by other people. Keep in mind that the adapted child ego state may have kind of a rebellious side, and that may or will often show up, according to this theory, during times of conflict. The free child may be said or seen as the opposite then of the adapted child. They may be more spontaneous, creative, and playful. The parent ego state is also then divided into two subdivisions. The first is the critical, controlling parent ego state. Berne said the critical parent is harsh and aggressive, and this may especially be the case when they disapprove of something. On the flip side, we have the nurturing parent ego state, and they can be seen as rescuing and will take over to try to get things done, which of course can also be inappropriate at times. Finally, we have the adult ego state, and this is singular. There are no subdivisions for this ego state. With the adult ego state, they are said to be interacting in the here and now, free from the shoulds or expectations of others. They are also not weighted down by past experiences and the weight that those may have or the influence that those may have. Those who communicate from the adult ego state will often listen to others, be respectful, and just generally have better social interactions. As we get into the last section of this video, I ask that if you're taking away something from this video or if you're learning or enjoying it, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future videos and you can keep preparing for future exams. The final thing that I want to talk about with transactional analysis is the okays, because this is an important part, it seems, of this theory, and so it may be helpful for you to know this in some of your exams. Specifically, this theory says that people have a view of themselves and they have a view of the world, and these two things then have four different combinations that can exist for a person. The first combination is I am okay and you are okay. This is seen as the best combination because the person is content with themselves, but they're also satisfied with people or the world generally. Second, I am okay and you are not okay. This combination is a little bit more problematic because the person may see themselves as superior to everyone else because they're okay but nobody else is. The third combination is I am not okay, you are okay. In this situation, the person sees themselves as below everybody else. They think everyone else in the world is superior to them. The fourth combination is I am not okay and you are not okay. And of course, this combination is not great because it leads to a lot of hopelessness where they don't think that they're okay. They are not content with themselves or satisfied with themselves, but they don't think anyone else in the world is any better. And so of course that would then lead to a lot of hopelessness if nothing is okay. There's maybe a lot of discontent that would come with that. So that is a brief introduction into transactional analysis. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.